Fibonacci retracement is one of the most talked about tools in technical analysis, and also one of the most misunderstood. Many traders treat it as a mystical set of numbers that magically predict where price will reverse. Others dismiss it entirely as self-fulfilling nonsense. Both views miss the real value of Fibonacci. Fibonacci retracement is not a prediction tool. It is a context tool designed to help traders locate areas where reactions are more likely to occur because of human behavior, not mathematical destiny. At its core, Fibonacci retracement measures how far price pulls back after a move, before potentially continuing in the original direction. Markets rarely move in straight lines. They surge, pause, retrace, and then decide whether to continue or fail. Fibonacci helps you frame those pauses. It answers a practical question: if a trend is healthy, where might buyers or sellers reasonably step back in? The tool does not tell you what will happen. It tells you where to pay attention. The most common Fibonacci retracement levels used in trading are 38.2%, 50%, and 61.8%. These levels are not important because they come from a mathematical sequence. They are important because they reflect crowd psychology. Shallow pullbacks often signal strong momentum where participants are eager to enter. Deeper pullbacks signal hesitation, but not necessarily trend failure. The deeper the retracement, the more conviction is required from buyers or sellers to defend the trend. Fibonacci simply gives structure to this judgment. One of the biggest beginner mistakes is drawing Fibonacci levels mechanically without understanding what they are measuring. Fibonacci must always be applied to a clear impulse move. That impulse is the market's statement of intent. Without a clean, obvious move, Fibonacci levels are meaningless. Drawing retracements inside choppy sideways markets creates false confidence and random signals. Professionals apply Fibonacci only when structure already exists. Another frequent error is treating Fibonacci levels as exact turning points. Price does not reverse because it hits 61.8% to the tick. Markets operate in zones, not lines. Fibonacci levels represent areas where reactions may occur, not guaranteed reversal points. This is why Fibonacci should never be used alone. It must be combined with structure, trend direction support, and resistance volume, or price action. When multiple factors align near a Fibonacci zone, probability improves. When Fibonacci stands alone, it is weak. Fibonacci retracement works best when used with the trend, not against it. In an uptrend, retracements help locate potential buying zones. In a downtrend, they help locate selling zones. Using Fibonacci to fade strong trends is one of the fastest ways to turn a helpful tool into a frustration machine. The market does not care about ratios when momentum is dominant. Fibonacci respects strength. It does not override it. Timeframe context also matters. Fibonacci levels drawn on higher timeframes carry more weight because they reflect decisions made by larger participants. A 61.8% retracement on a daily chart is far more meaningful than the same level on a 5-minute chart. Professionals often draw Fibonacci on higher timeframes to define zones, then drop to lower timeframes for execution. This alignment reduces noise and emotional whipsaws. Another subtle but important point is that Fibonacci retracement does not measure value. It measures reaction potential. Price can retrace 61.8% and continue. It can retrace only 38.2% and reverse sharply. It can ignore all levels completely. Fibonacci does not impose order on the market. It helps the trader organize attention. The trader still must wait for confirmation. Acting purely because price touched a Fibonacci level is gambling, not analysis. Fibonacci is also widely misused because traders expect it to work all the time. When it fails, they abandon it or redraw levels until something fits. This behavior turns Fibonacci into a storytelling device rather than an analytical one. Professionals accept that Fibonacci increases probability, not certainty. When it fails, it provides information momentum may be stronger or weaker than expected. That feedback is valuable if ego does not interfere. Perhaps the most useful way to think about Fibonacci retracement is this. It helps you avoid chasing. Instead of buying highs or selling lows emotionally, Fibonacci gives you a framework for waiting. It slows you down. It forces you to ask whether price is pulling back into a logical zone or simply drifting randomly. In trading, tools that slow you down are often more valuable than tools that speed you up. Ultimately, Fibonacci retracement is neither magic nor meaningless. It is a probabilistic map layered on top of market structure. Used with patience and confirmation, it can improve entries and risk placement. Used mechanically or emotionally, it becomes another excuse to overtrade. And once this foundation is clear, the next step is learning how to draw Fibonacci correctly, how to choose the right swing points, and how to combine Fibonacci with price action and risk management, so it supports decisions instead of creating false confidence, which is exactly where we need to go next. By examining how to draw Fibonacci retracement correctly and integrate it into a disciplined trading process, because precision in application matters far more than the tool itself. The first step is choosing the correct swing points, and this is where most misuse begins. Fibonacci must be anchored to a clear impulse leg, the most obvious and dominant move on the time frame you are trading. In an uptrend, this means drawing from the swing low to the swing high of the impulse. In a downtrend, it means drawing from the swing high to the swing low. If you find yourself debating which swing to use, that hesitation is already a warning sign that structure is unclear and Fibonacci may not be appropriate yet. Once the retracement is drawn, shift your mindset away from exact levels and toward zones of interest. The area between 38.2% and 61.8% should be viewed as a response zone, not a trigger. Professional traders do not place blind orders at Fibonacci levels. They wait to see how price behaves as it enters the zone. Does momentum slow? Do candles show rejection? Does structure begin to form? Fibonacci defines where to watch, not where to act. Combining Fibonacci with market structure is what transforms it from a drawing tool into a decision framework. If a Fibonacci retracement aligns with prior support or resistance trend lines, moving averages, or value areas, probability improves. This alignment is often referred to as confluence, but the word is less important than the logic behind it. Multiple participants with different methods are likely watching the same area, increasing the chance of a reaction. When Fibonacci stands alone without structure, its signal is weak. Entry should always come from confirmation, not anticipation. Confirmation might be a strong rejection candle, a break in lower time frame structure back in the trend direction, or a momentum shift supported by volume. Entering before confirmation turns Fibonacci into a guessing game. Waiting for confirmation turns it into a filter. The difference is patience, not intelligence. Stop-loss placement becomes clearer when Fibonacci is used correctly. Stops should not be placed directly on Fibonacci levels. They should be placed beyond the structure that would invalidate the trade idea. In an uptrend, if price retraces beyond the zone and breaks key support. The assumption of continuation is wrong, regardless of ratios. Fibonacci helps define opportunity. Structure defines risk. Keeping these roles separate prevents emotional stop placement. Targets should be realistic and aligned with market context. Many traders expect Fibonacci to deliver full trend extensions every time. In reality, the most consistent gains often come from capturing the middle portion of the move, such as a return to the prior high in an uptrend. Extensions can be used to frame potential upside, but they should not replace common sense or ignore resistance ahead. Probability declines as expectations expand. Time frame alignment remains critical. Drawing Fibonacci on a higher time frame and executing on a lower one reduces noise and emotional churn. A daily Fibonacci zone respected on a 15-minute chart often produces cleaner reactions than a Fibonacci drawn directly on the lower time frame. Professionals let higher time frames define areas and lower time frames define entries. One of the most important disciplines is knowing when not to use Fibonacci. In strong momentum markets with shallow pullbacks, price may never reach traditional retracement levels. Forcing Fibonacci in these conditions leads to missed trades or late entries. Likewise, in choppy range-bound markets, Fibonacci levels overlap and lose meaning. Fibonacci works best when markets are trending but not accelerating wildly. Finally, Fibonacci must be evaluated over many trades, not a few memorable ones. It will fail. Sometimes price will slice through all levels without reaction. This is not a flaw. It is information about momentum strength. Traders who accept this feedback improve. Traders who redraw levels until something fits stop learning. In the end, Fibonacci retracement is not about precision. It is about discipline. It teaches traders to wait to define risk and to seek confirmation rather than chase price emotionally. When used as part of a structured process, it becomes a quiet ally. When used as a shortcut, it becomes another source of false confidence. If this explanation helped clarify how Fibonacci should actually be used in trading analysis, consider subscribing to stay with these long-form discussions focused on structure over superstition, and leave a comment, sharing where you have struggled most with Fibonacci, because identifying that friction is often the first step toward using the tool with confidence rather than confusion.